Okay. So till now, like forms are completed means almost basic thing means when we say basic things in Angular, like the things which we need are things which we normally use most of the day. I mean, whenever we are working on the project, there are some things which we, let's say, 80 or 70%, mostly whatever the things we use, that we have almost covered. Again, same thing like directives we have seen in the older version, but in newer version we have control flow statement. So again, we have to see that. But same like that, behavior will be there. Okay. Now, some additional concepts are also there, which we use occasionally. Okay. So out of that, first one is the pipe. So pipe is the simplest one. Let me just create a row column structure first. So basically, pipes are used to format the data. Where do we store the data? Where do we store the data? Guys, where do we store the data?
In the array.
In a variable.
Yes, in the
Okay.
variable.
Or we can call it as a state. Just now we create a variable. Na? That we, in another word, it is state also. Okay. So now in this pipe component, I will create some variable. Let's go with first name, colon string. I'm storing my name, Chetan. Okay. Now, how do I print this value inside this div? How can we print this variable value inside this div?
Using
Interpolation, right?
yes,
Interpolation, or if we have to print that in a text box, we will use property binding, correct?
yes.
Now, so this is the basic interpolation what we use. Let's just open localhost 4209. If I click on pipes, you can see in the first name variable, we have got Chetan name. Now in my variable, I have a small case value. But what if I have to make it capital? So I can do that. So let's add a BR tag, or let's add a div. And now inside this div, I will make this variable, whatever the value I have in this variable, to capital. So we have pipe. So how do we use pipe? Just we have to get the straight line. Below the backspace button, you have the line. Then you just need to attach the uppercase pipe. This is already provided in Angular. So pipes are basically used to format the data. In whenever you are printing the data into HTML, before rendering it, you are formatting the data. Means you are not going to change the variable value, but while displaying, you are formatting the data. Okay. So let me just print it. So now the original variable value, I have put it over here. And one more time, I have put it in the interpolation, but now I'm using uppercase pipe. So now you can see this is the original value. And this is, I have used the interpolation with the same variable, but I have used the uppercase. So all the letters are in the uppercase. Clear? Let's make the first letter to capital. Okay. Now I will just copy paste. Just like uppercase, we have lowercase also. It will print in all the lower cases. See, original value. Wait, why original value is not like that? See. So see, in original value, we have C as capital. With uppercase, we got all the characters in capital. With lowercase, we got only one character was in capital. That two all got in the small case. Clear? Just like that, we have one more thing, that is capital. Sorry, title. But what title? Let's create one more variable. Surname string is equal to Zogi. Okay. Now this surname, I will use it over here, and I will use title case pipe. What title might be doing? What title will does?
So first letter will make capital.
Right? So it will make the first letter only capital. So we have uppercase, lowercase, and title case. It is clear?
Yes.
Okay. So again, it's not going to change the variable value. It just, while displaying, we are formatting the data. Original value stays the same as it is. Clear? Okay. So these are the pipes which are related to string. Then let's say I created an object. name, so I have an object. Let's try to print this object directly. Okay, I have created a variable. Inside that variable, I have put an object, and that variable I'm trying to print it. So when we try to print the object in the HTML, we get it like this object, because we cannot print we cannot print object directly in the HTML. But let's say we have a requirement, or for our developer purpose, we have a pipe, that is JSON pipe. So if we use the JSON pipe, we can see the data, whatever we have in that object. Okay. So what it actually does is it will convert this object into the string format, JSON pipe. Okay. See, got it? So JSON is also a pipe. JSON pipe we use when we have to print the object data. Clear? Okay. Then we have slice pipe. Again, so many number related pipes are also there. First, I will tell you slice pipe. Let's say we have city list. So over here, let's store Pune, Nagpur, Panji, Thane, Mumbai. So I have created a city list array. Inside that I have around 1, 2, 3, 5 elements. Okay. Now everyone must have heard word slice. What do we mean by slice? What do we mean by slice? SLICE, slice. What is the normal meaning of slice?
Break.
Let's say we have a cake, right? Slice we normally use in related to the cake. So we can get a slice of it. Means we have something, a complete something is there. Out of that, we just need a piece of that. That is nothing but slice, correct? So if I'm going to use slice in case of array, what it will actually mean?
It will print everything in the array,
No,
or else it will pick
See.
one element.
we will cut some elements from it. See, consider city list is a cake. If I ask you just provide me a slice, so what you will do? You will cut it and provide it me, right? Same thing happens with the cake. Just like that, the slice word is also there. In JavaScript also we have slice function. No one has used it yet. JavaScript array is there, right? On array we have a method slice. Try to Google it today, okay? So here I have printed the whole array. Let's just see. So see, all the arrays have printed. But let's say I need some piece out of that. I just need some elements. Okay. So I can use slice pipe colon. Now, so whatever the pipes we have used, this doesn't have any parameter. Pipes are just like a function.
Index.
Okay. But we can pass a function also. Means these are pipes, but basically these are the functions which will execute when the template render. So some pipe doesn't have parameter, some pipes can have parameter. So just like that, slice has the parameter. Okay. So if you see how many parameter we have to the slice pipe, just see the pop-up and tell me how many parameters we have to the slice pipe.
3.
Right? Here it is. First is the value. Value will by default go whatever we have put it over here. Then we have start and end. End is optional. Question mark is there means this parameter is optional. Okay. So let's try to put 3. Let's see what do we get. Wait, why it is not printed? After city. Okay. Sorry, city object. See what it has done. Thane, Mumbai. What we said? Slice, and the parameter what we said? 3. Now just hover on the thing. Start. What might be the meaning of start parameter?
Take the start index 0.
Starting point from which index you need the remaining element. So we said 3. After 3, how whatever the elements we have, that will be printed over here. Got it? So after 3, we just have 2 elements. So it has printed through. Let's add some more. Okay, I'm just printing like that now. See, whatever the elements we have after third index, all will be printed. Got it? 0, 1, 2. So it started from 3. Start. Okay. Now we have 2 parameters. Let's try another one. 3 colon. Let's say I need 3 to 5. Let's try. So see here what we got. 3 we got and 4. Only 2 elements we got. So if you use the slice pipe, if you just provided the 3 starting point, so you will get all the elements after the 3. But if you provide 2 parameter, so it will get you 3 element from 3 to 5. Clear? Second parameter is optional. First is mandatory one. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
It's like we are cutting some data from our array, but you need to specify from which to which you need. Okay. So this is slice pipe. Just like that slice pipe, we have number pipe also. Let's just search angular.dev and see how many pipes are there. Pipe. Default pipe, built-in pipe. Why it is showing like this? New site is very. Let's go with older version. Why it is not showing the list?
Sir, in which version this pipe is available?
All the version pipes is there from Angular 2.
Okay.
This is basic. From Angular 2, whatever we have seen till now, from Angular 2, it is same. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing difference is there. Component. Where is pipe? Pipe. Built-in pipe. Next one is important. The important pipe is the date one. So we have uppercase, lowercase, some currency pipe is also there. We can show dollar symbol, rupees symbol, decimal pipe. Let's say you have integer value and after integer you need to limit point value. Means 2 decimal point, 3 decimal point. So you can do that also. Okay. Percent symbol also you can get it. But important is the date pipe. Okay. Now what we will do, we will create a variable and we will store a date. So double R current date. Date is equal to new date. Okay. So in this variable, we will get the date. Let's try to print the date first. Let's get it in the next row. So see, here we have the date. Okay. PT4. So if we store date into a variable, this is what we get. We get date also, time also, time zone also, everything. But what if we have to format? Because this important? No.
No.
Let's say user just need to see the date. So we just should be able to show the date only. If let's say from the whole date, we just need to show the time. So we should able to do that also. We just need to show some proper, somewhere you might have seen hyphen is there separator. Somewhere we have forward slash also. Everything we can do by using date pipe. Okay. Let's see now. So current date. The date is simply date pipe. I'm not doing anything. I am just pressing simply date pipe. Okay. So see, If we just add a date pipe, it will show like this, November 5, 2024. Okay. Now we can again format it also. Let's say I need to see the proper date format. So after that, colon, single quote, dd hyphen hyphen YY. Make sure whenever we are using month, we just need to use the capital M. Date and YY will be in the small case. Okay, this is the only thing to remember. See how it has shown date, month, year. Okay, now one more time, instead of 2M, I will use 3M. It will show the month name, November. Got it? So if you provide just the 2 times M, so it will print the number. Let's try 4mm. November. Clear? Let's try 5. Getting it? So if you need to print whole month name, that's it, up to 4 only. There is no 5M. If you just need to print month into the number, you will use 2M. If you just need 3 characters to be printed, MMM. If you need the whole name of the month, you will enter 4MM. That's it. One more variation is there. You don't need the whole year to be shown. You just need the ending 2 character because that's only matter. So you just put 2YY. See, you get ending year only. Let's say instead of hyphen you need slash, you can do that also. Slash. See, whatever you write over there separating, that will be printed like this. So this is how we print the date. Again, if we have to show,
Sir, with the time also, after date, you measure time
Yeah.
also.
so for time, what should just see like for date formatting, it is like that. What should be for the time? Can anyone guess? What should be the format for time?
Like minutes, seconds, hours.
HHMM, na?
Yes.
Right? HH, colon,
SS.
MM and SS. Let's try. See, 923.7. Got it? Here it has printed 24 format. Here it has printed our normal 12-hour format. Clear?
Yeah, okay, sir. Yes.
So this is how we have to use the date pipe. Date pipe is mostly what we use. Lowercase, uppercase, slice pipe we normally use. JSON pipe we mostly use. That is for our purpose only. Lowercase, uppercase, these are very easy. Clear, everyone?
Sir, why we are using in the string format in the pipe, in the date pipe?
See, if you don't format it like that, it will try to find like this is a variable or something. See, here we didn't provide the variable
Yes.
because integer we can directly provide, right? But whenever we are
Okay.
trying to access the
Correct.
string, in normal
Okay.
JavaScript also, right?
Mm.
You
Yes,
can
yes.
provide value directly, integer, but if it is string, you need to enclose that in a string, right?
String format.
That's the
Correct.
reason. Okay.
Okay.
Clear, everyone? Pipe is the easiest topic in Angular. Okay. So this is everything about basic pipe. Now we can again create our custom pipe also. We will cover that in what do we say, project. Okay, because that need proper scenario, then only we will cover. And one more thing is pure and impure pipe is there that we will see when we actually create when we actually work the project, and in a single component we are using multiple pipe. Then if we are using 2 custom pipe in a single component, and if both the pipes are impure, so how your UI will take time to load, and if it is pure pipe, how it will behave. So that we need a proper scenario. Okay. So custom pipe, how we create our custom pipe, and how to use that pure and impure. What is the difference that we will see in the project. Okay. Is this clear till now, everyone? How to use basic pipe and why to use pipe?
Why we are using pipe, sir?
To format the data. See, just consider this date. This variable, I have stored the date. And here I have printed the date. Okay. So over here in the date, we got this much of that data. Right? Because new
Right.
date will get date, time, and time zone also. But what if you just need to print the date? So in that scenario, you can use the default
Use
pipe.
pipe. Okay.
Whenever you have
Got
to print the data, and before printing, you need to do the formatting. Got it? Just like in this variable, you got the variable value as Chetan C with capital. But let's say while printing, you just need to make it capital. Another way to do it is whatever we have done till now. Let's say Angular doesn't provided the pipe topic. How else we could have done it? What is the other way? If we don't have any topic as pipe, what is the other way?
You can create a function in the TS file and make it conversion.
Right? See, let's say if we talk about first name. So what I will do in constructor, let's say I have a API call and from API call I get something value. And then what I will do, this dot first name is equal to this dot first name dot to upper. Correct? Same
Correct.
JavaScript functions are there. Na? Whatever we are doing it over here, everything we can do it by JavaScript function also. But that will increase our code. Na? So Angular has provided that functionality that, and you are not disturbing your variable also. In this way, you are actually changing the variable value, original value, correct? But here you are not changing the original variable value. Original variable value stays the same. While printing in the HTML, you are just formatting the value. Under Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So this is an intro question. As I said, like pipe is the easiest one. But obviously interviewer has to ask this question, like what are pipes, what they might ask. Why do we need the pipe? This is the basic question. And how to create a custom pipe. And pure and impure. That's it. Only 3 questions are there. Tough one. Okay. Easiest one like uppercase, lowercase, JSON, they might ask. One more is the rushing pipe, which we will again see. Okay. But you need to understand the concept. Why pipe is important. If we don't have the pipe, same thing we can do, but it will change the original variable value. And again, we are increasing our unnecessary. We have to unnecessarily write the code. But same thing we can do in the HTML by using the pipe. So we are not disturbing the original value and we are not writing the unnecessary code also. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sandhya, any doubt?
No, sir. It's
Clear
clear.
now? Okay,
Yes.
fine. Now, wait, what was the topic I thought? Reusable component we are going to start.
Sir, did we complete this NG on it in it?
Okay, lifecycle we didn't complete now. Let's complete that because in reusable component we will need that also. Fine, thank you for bringing it up.
And the emitting function.
Yeah, that is in the reusable component.
Okay.
Okay, so first we will complete lifecycle event. Now, let's consider, forget about Angular. Let's consider like we just have a normal HTML page. Okay, we have created an HTML page, and when we render that HTML page onto a browser, what kind of events might be there happening? Let's say, let's open. See, this is a single page. Okay, this I have hosted it somewhere. And when I load this page, actually a physical file is going to render. So what things might be happening behind the scene? Some events will be there or no?
Yes.
What kind of events might be there if it's a normal HTML file? When any normal HTML file gets render or get loaded or get open onto a browser, what might be the events will be
Click
there?
event, change event.
Click event and change event after loading. Once it is loading on, any page onto the browser, in that process, what might be the events we have? Those events are user specific when we do. But
Yes.
once the page load, we didn't do anything. There might be some events, na? What kind of events might be there in case of normal HTML file?
Okay.
Just a basic question. Think, na, what can be the events? When a HTML page
Mhm.
loads onto a browser, what kind of event should be there? Or there should not be any event, or is it like some magic?
Not aware of it.
See, obviously some events will be there.
Yes.
Once the page is getting loaded, before page loads, okay, before page means it has got the page, before page rendering start, once the page, basic HTML page rendered, and once some external content, let's say in this page, I'm using, you might have observed, if you in your HTML page now you have images, image takes some time to load,
Correct.
right? If your
Yes.
image is with very high resolution, it will take some time to load. So
Correct.
one, just the obvious one we are talking, one event will be like before the page load, means before the rendering start. Once
Mhm.
before after page load, means your basic UI rendering is done. One more event might be there when all your external content, means image, PDF, video, get rendered or get loaded successfully. These might be events basically. Clear, na? Whenever any HTML page is getting rendered onto a browser, there obviously might be something happening, na? Because as we say, whatever user does while interacting the web application, we can write an event for that. Click event, change event, mouse scroll, even browser scroll, browser size also rechanges, na? This, we can write an event to this also. So just like that, before the page load, if you want to do something, there might be a way, na, to do something. Before the page load, you need to do something. Correct? So in a normal HTML, in a JavaScript also, we have on load. Again, so many events are related to with JavaScript. So just like that, in Angular also, we have so many events that we call life cycle event of the component. In Angular, when I take a reference of HTML page, it's an HTML page. But in Angular, do we have HTML page? We have only one HTML page.
Yes.
But when we
have
render,
it.
we actually deal with the component. So we, as initially I told you, right? Consider component as a HTML page. So as normal HTML page also have some lifecycle event, just like that, component also have some lifecycle event. Okay. So how to write event on those lifecycle event, that we have to see, that are nothing but lifecycle events of the component. Okay. So we will use this variable component. So this is a normal class, component class. So basically we have constructor is not the part of the life cycle, because constructor is, when does constructor get executed? When does constructor gets executed?
After browser loaded.
No. Once our class object is created, na?
Class.
Constructor
Yes.
is a
Class.
part of class. Whenever our component object is created, that constructor will get automatically triggered. That is clear?
Yes.
Okay. After that, we have ng on init. So if we have to write some event on once the component load, basic UI load, so we have ng on init event. So that is how we do it. On the class, we need to implement it. Implement. What we need to implement? On init. When we say when we have to implement on init, we have to write. Now see, it is throwing error on the component. Once we implement on init now, we need to implement ng on init lifecycle event. Ng on init. So see, when you implement it, there is no ng directly on init. But once you implement that function, ng on init. On init is there. Then ng, sorry, on what is it, after view init. Okay, see, whenever I'm implementing, it will ask us to implement the function related to this. So ng after view init, like this. Ng after view init is there. Before, sorry, what are those? I forgot. After view init, after view checked. After view check. See, every time you are understanding it, once we implement it, any lifecycle event, we need to implement the method also with that. Ng after view checked. Okay. Then let's add after content init. Content init after content checked and on destroy. Okay. Let's implement this first. Ng after content check. Ng after content init. And the last one is on destroy. So for on destroy, we have ng destroy. Let's add a console at every place. Then only you will understand which event get triggered where. I will add a debugger. I will add a console over in constructor also. So this is constructor. This is ng on it. Let's copy paste. Okay, let's save and check. Variable is there or no? Okay, route also we need to create. Let's add it into the route. Okay. Now let's open the console. Once we navigate to the variable component, see the console. See, first what got executed? Constructor. Console are getting printed means that particular function has got triggered. Then we have ng on init. ng on init. ng on init is the lifecycle event, means your basic UI template got rendered. After that, we have events related to content. Content init, content check. View init, view check. It's easy to remember. First, ng on init, then we have ng on changes. ng on changes, I will explain once we do with the reusable component. Okay. ng on init, then content related events are there. Content init and content check. Init check, init check. Then view init, view check. Okay. Then again, 2 times content checked and view check. Why these 2 extra are here? Because we might have some binding in the HTML. Means we might have, you see, this variable we have printed it over here. If I remove this variable now, so now you won't see the extra 2. See. Let's go to pipe variable. See, now you don't get that. ng on init is 1 time, content init, content check. View init, view check. Still it is there. We refresh now. Let's remove a whole HTML. Why that is rendered 2 times? Content check, view check, why it is getting rendered 2 times? View init, then view checked. 1 more time it is getting triggered. Okay, let it be. So just now consider ng on it is the event. ng on it like once the basic your component is get initialized. Okay, that is ng on init. Then once if you have any external content, means you have image, video, PDF, something you have it over here. Before it try to download that image or something, this event will get triggered. Once that image get downloaded and rendered into your component, then this event will get triggered. Currently we don't have it, but still all lifecycle event will execute. Then view related event. Let's say in your component, you have some another component also you are using, means as a child component. Okay. These events will trigger in case of that view init and view check. Means let's say in this variable component, you are using a selector of structural directive, pipe component or reactive user component. Means in one component, you are using selector of another component. So dependent views are also got initialized and checked for these event cycles are there. Okay. Now if I clear it and we have one more that is on destroy. Last one. So see, once I navigate from current. Okay. So see, currently we are on the variable component. Once I navigate from variable to any component, see, I'm going to pipe. Then we got this ng on destroy. So once your component is getting destroyed, means when we are navigating from one component to another component, obviously that component is getting destroyed now. So before destroying, this component will get, this event will get triggered. So if you have to write a code, when let's say user is navigating from one component to another component, but before navigating, you need to write some code, you need to execute some piece of code. That piece of code you will execute in ng on destroy component over here. Let's say I need to show some alert. You might have seen this kind of alert also. You are navigating to other page. See now. I will go to variable, and once I navigate, see I got this pop-up.
It's an online exam that time
Right?
चाहता है.
Correct? Online exam, or let's say you are on some registration page. You have started filling it. Okay, half the form you have filled, and by mistake, if you type, if you try to navigate, it will show you that pop-up. Are you sure want to navigate? You are writing something or something like that. Anyone has seen like that?
Yes.
Right? So if you have to achieve that scenario, if you have to write the code once before navigating user, you need to prompt something like you are leaving this page. So you can write that code over here in ng on destroy. So this event will get triggered once user navigating or your component is getting destroyed. It's not like just with navigation. Let's say you have ngIf. Let's say in this component, you have means selector of one component. Okay. And let's do that now first thing. Now in variable component, what I'm doing, I'm using pipe component. Okay. In variable component, I'm using pipe component. Clear? Let's here write variable. You understood this? Now in app component, we used to do that before routing. So in one component, we are rendering another component. Okay. So see, we got, we are currently in the variable component, but after this variable, you can see pipe component got rendered over here. See, after variable, we got pipe component. Okay. Now, what we will do, we will create one button, two buttons, hide and show. Hide. Show. Click. Show, hide, and I will pass through over here. And in case of hide, I will pass false, and here I will pass true. Let's create this function. Let's create a variable is visible Boolean. By default, I'm making it false. And whatever the variable value I get over here, this dot is variable value. And this value, we will put it over here. Okay. See, I have created a variable And that variable value is going to change whatever the parameter value we get. And this function we are calling on the respective buttons. Now, this variable I will use. Let's create a div. And on this div, I will add star ng if. This variable, I will use it over here. And this selector, component selector, I'm putting it inside this. Okay. Now in app pipe component, I will implement my ng on destroy pipe lifecycle event. Implement on destroy. Okay. And here I will implement on destroy. And here I will showcase alert. You are, or let's say pipe component getting closed. So see what I have done. In pipe component, I have implemented ng on destroy lifecycle event. And this pipe component, where I'm using in variable component, but that too in a div. And this div visibility depends on this variable. So see now. By default, that variable value was false. If I click on show, pipe component is visible. Okay. So as I told you, when will ng on destroy is a lifecycle event which will execute when our component is getting destroyed. Okay. So that to happen when we navigate, means that component is getting removed from the DOM, or if we are doing hide and show also, if I click on hide, see, we got that pop-up, pipe component getting closed. Got it? So it's not just with the navigation, you will get that ng on destroy get triggered. Whenever your component is getting destroyed or removed from the DOM, before getting removed, your ng on destroy component, ng on destroy lifecycle event will execute. Clear? Again, let's add ng on init also. On init. ng on init. Alert.
So small thing, like when you're calling the if condition, we are just passing the value true or false to that. But why it is calling the ng on destroy here?
See, if this variable is true, this component will render.
Yes.
Correct. If this variable value is false, this component will render or no?
No, not really.
Correct. Because ng, what it will does, it will remove the element whatever we have. Currently we have component selector. So if this variable is true, whatever we have inside this div will render, means our component will render. And if this variable is false, it won't render. Correct? This is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in
Sir.
app,
Can you explain this part once again, sir? Like from the variable part, you have mentioned all the this ng init, ng on init, and all.
No.
So,
First, this is clear.
Yes, sir. If it is false, the div
It's a simple
the
ng,
div part will
right?
Yes.
If this variable is valued true, is this component will render. This component, or let's add a h1, anything. Whatever UI,
whatever is present in the div.
Correct? This will render. If this variable is false, this won't render. Correct? So
Yes, sir.
now in pipe component, I have implemented two lifecycle event, ng on init and ng on destroy. So now just see how it behaves. By default, we don't have our pipe component visible. If I click on show, which we got pipe component loaded, means once your component loaded, ng on init event got triggered. When we click on show, this component got rendered, na? So once this component got rendered, in this component, you have ng on it already implemented. So this function got triggered.
Okay, for rendering of that page, what is the function that is getting triggered?
Sir.
Backside, you are able to show it now for us.
Sir, what if we don't provide ng on it in the
It won't
pipe
execute.
component?
It won't execute. See,
Okay.
these lifecycle events are there. It is happening behind the scene. But if you want to
Okay.
write some code, you will implement it like this. Then only it will execute. Just like the constructor also. Doesn't matter, na? If it is there or not, still it is there. Correct? Just like that, lifecycle
Yes,
events
sir.
are there. If you need
Mm.
to write some code on particular event before rendering any component, before destroying any component, you will implement those lifecycle event and you will write some piece of code over there. See,
मोस्टली सर grid bind करने के लिए हम ng on it
Right.
भी use
Right.
करते हैं.
So now if I click on hide, see component is getting removed. So we get component getting closed. Means this ng on destroy event got triggered. Again, if I click on show, again my component is getting rendered. Again, I got that component loaded. Means this event got triggered. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So it's not just with now in variable component also we have ng on destroy implemented. So if I navigate, I get that. First, we will get the pipe component because pipe component is also over here, na? So that is also getting removed. Then your parent component, you are navigating from the another page. Clear?
Okay,
Understood,
sir, seems
na?
like confusing.
See.
Yes, sir.
In variable component, I don't have pipe component loaded now. Clear? So now if I
Okay.
navigate, what I got? You are navigating from other page. This alert message is coming from your variable component.
Okay, this is alert. This is navigating function, no?
This, see,
Oh.
variable I will add. Clear? Variable component ng on destroy. Simple. Okay. Now just pay attention.
Okay.
And in pipe component also, I will write pipe component ng on destroy. Okay. Now just see the message properly. In variable component, this is the message. In pipe component, this is the message. Okay. Now just pay attention clearly. We are in variable component. Do we have pipe component loaded currently?
No.
Okay.
No.
If I navigate to structural component, what is the message we got? Variable component ng on destroy. Means from our variable component, this ng on destroy got triggered. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go again back to the variable component. Now I will show the pipe component. Pipe component got loaded. Message is there from ng on it. Now in variable component, we have pipe component. Okay. Now if I navigate to another page, how many alert box should I get?
1.
No,
Two.
na. 2 na. See, in variable component, we have pipe component also. When we are navigating, this pipe component is also getting removed, na? It's not just variable component. Currently, your pipe component is in the page DOM.
Yes.
When you navigate, your variable component is also getting removed. And inside variable component, you have pipe component also. So see,
That all.
first you get pipe component ng on destroy, and then you get variable component ng on destroy.
Okay.
Now clear?
Yes.
So just like in the variable component, if you have 3 component, variable, ng class, ng for, and in all the component you have ng on destroy implemented, you will get 3 alert if you added over there. Clear now? So it's not like just the variable it's like the component URL means only the variable route URL you are navigating. Whatever the child component you have currently active, that ng on destroy also will get executed if you have implemented it. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So
Sir, when suppose if two one parent, one child is there, so from first we'll get it from the parent, then we'll get it from
No.
the child, right?
see now,
No.
in variable component, we have pipe component also. If I navigate, which component got destroyed first? Pipe component.
Pipe.
Okay. Then parent component. How parent will execute?
Oh.
Na? How parent will get removed first? First, their children will get removed, na? Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
sir.
only parent. Clear?
Okay.
So this is ng on destroy. So out of these now, ng on init is important. Now, ng on init, what we use, for what purpose we use? To initiate API call functions. Means we are not supposed to write the API call in ng on init. We should write another function like get all user something. In this function, we will at least write an API call function or service call function. And this function we should call over here. Okay, we have already done na get API call. Let's check get API call component. Where we did that employee list. No, where we did that. Okay. So see, in this user component, we have added this button, get user. Once we click on that, then we used to get the user. But this is not, we should not ask user to click na. Once your component load, you should have this data ready, correct? We should not need to click this button. So instead of doing this, what we normally do is in user component, on the page load, you need to do something. So what we need to do over here on the page load, you need to initiate that API call. So you will
ng
implement
on init.
ng on init. Sorry, on init. Okay. Then you will implement ng on init. And this function get user, which is actually making the API call, you have to call it over here. Now you don't need that button. Let's remove this. So save and check. So now once you navigate to user component, by default, your API call will be there. Okay. Once I navigate to user component, see, by default API call is there. But why data is not visible? Didn't save or what? Okay, sorry, user2 function. Because we are not using this variable. We don't have binded this variable over here. We have user list and we are getting data in this component from this function. Okay. See, on the page load, we got the function. We didn't click the button, but on the page load, this ng on init function get called. And in this ng on init function, we call this function. So it got over here, it make the API call. So on the page load, on the component load, if you need to do some piece of code, if you need to execute some piece of code, you will write it over here. Clear? Okay. So the remaining functions, ng after we will need, ng after we will see this in detail in project because we need proper scenario to understand all this. But ng on init and ng on destroy, this should be clear for now. And once we start reusable component, then you will understand the left one, that is ng on changes. Okay.
Sir, usually one question like, is the constructor executed first
No,
or ng
is
on init?
constructor, na? We seen now. See, that's why I printed everything.
But why it is always like that?
See,
Sir,
constructor is a
I did
part
not
of
get that.
constructor. Let's
Class.
say it's a C language, C++ language, Java, .NET. Everywhere we have class, right? It's not just related with Angular or TypeScript. Whenever we say class, every class will have a default function which get executed. When it will execute, when the class object is created. That is the definition of constructor, right? So same in case of Angular with TypeScript also, whenever this variable component object, variable class object is getting created, by default constructor will execute. Okay. So when this class object is created, then above the class we have @ component, then it will get to know like this is a component. Then this lifecycle event will execute. Okay. Now if we see the same thing in service, here also we have the constructor, but above the class, what do we said? Injectable. So here we don't get that ng on init all the lifecycle event because it's a service. Got it? So in case of component, we get this lifecycle event. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So constructor is not part of the lifecycle event. They will try to confuse you, but it will execute. No, constructor is like once our component class object is created, constructor will execute. Then if our class is having component decorator, then it will come to know like it's a component class. So then your lifecycle event will execute and it will start from ng on init. Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine.
Thanks for clarification.
Because remaining things, na, this we need proper example. Then only we can check. These are very self-explanatory. ng on it and ng on destroy. Okay. So tomorrow we will start reusable component. There we will get to see that ng on changes. One lifecycle event is remaining. ng on changes. Okay.
If I wanted to use other component in some other component, so it is with ng on in it, right?
No.
Yeah, this.
You want to use one component into another component. Correct?
Yes.
Directly
Correct.
use the selector.
Okay.
See, here only, let's say I need to use user component. So what I will use app hyphen user, the selector of the user component.
But we have to define in the user component, right?
No. No, nothing.
The ng on in it.
No, where I have done it.
Okay.
Let's try to use ng for. What is the selector of? I want to render ng for component into my variable component. So what I will do, I will copy the selector of ng for component and I will
Okay.
simply render it over here as a selector. That's it. See.
Okay.
Why it is not rendering? Variable. Okay.
Div को false किया है इसके.
Sure. See, this HTML is coming from your pipe. After pipe, you get the ng. Understood? Raja, understood? So you can directly use like this. In one component, you can use another component as well.
Okay, but in which to use that particular component, we have to define in the variable component ng on it, right?
No. See, I didn't do anything. Just see one more time. Let's say employee list. What I will do, I will use the employee list component selector. I have gone to HTML and I have rendered it over here outside. That's it. Save. See, this piece of code is coming from your employee list. Did I touch .ts?
No.
That is in Angular 17, new thing. If you have to use any component in .ts, first you need to import that. But in older version, there is no need to do anything. You can directly use. Okay. In newer version, we have to import it first over here. Then only we can use another component. But in older version, currently we are in the older version. Na? So in older version, we don't have to do that. In standalone component, we have to do like that. Okay. You might have seen some videos that might have confused you.
Yes.
Right. So in older version, if we have to render one component to another, we don't have to do anything. Directly you can render like this by using the selector. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone has any doubt? Fine. So tomorrow we will start reusable component. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you provide the video downloads for last session and today's session?
I didn't send the last recording.
Last
Last session I didn't
No,
send the
sir.
recording?
No, sir, you did not.
Okay, I will send it.
Thank you.
Fine. Let's meet tomorrow then.
Thank you.